So this is the video on how to hypersaturate a landscape image. So I'm going to drop in a landscape image. And again, Command 0 brings me full screen. And the first step is, as you see, the layers are up here. Again, layers should be up. And always remember, if you don't know where something is, you can find those layers. And Command Z undoes. So I have my background layer up. I'm going to create a new one. You can choose that background layer and go Command J, or you can drag the background layer to the new layer panel. That's kind of how I usually do it. We need to invert this layer, so we're going to go Command I. The other thing that you could do is you could go to layer and or image, sorry, and adjustments, and then invert, and you can see the shortcut here. So now we have an inverted layer. We're going to change the blend mode, and that's in your layers panel. So you're going to go where it says normal, and you're going to change that to blend. The color. So our color is going to kind of create a blend with this image. And this is then going to set the colors that we're going to start to, I guess, experiment with to create our hyper saturated image. So you're going to go to new adjustment layer at the bottom of the layers panel. And there's a couple ways to do that. Like here, you could also go layer, new adjustment layer, and you have the option of going from there. Easy way is in through the layers panel. And again, we're going to go into channel mixer. So in channel mixer, you're going to have the channels of color. Right now, blue is up. Red is where I'm going to start. And I'm going to actually decrease the red and increase the blue. So a little bit of opposites going on here. And then I'm going to go in and to the blue channel mixer, and I'm going to increase the red and decrease the blue. So a little bit of opposites going on here. And then we're going to then create another layer. And that layer is going to be our hue saturation layer. So we're going to go into hue saturation. Again, this is one way in. Another way in would be through a layer, a new adjustment layer, and hue saturation. Always so many ways to do things. So here, as we move into our hue saturation, we're going to again choose the drop down and go into our reds. And we're going to decrease the hue of red, the color of red in this image. So reduce the amount of red throughout the whole image. And so the next thing that we're going to do is go into the master. So we're going to go into the big range, and we're just going to saturate it. So saturation means we're going to add a lot of color. And so again, I can kind of go back and forth between these and kind of see where I like. And again, we can always return to that channel mixer and continue to, there we go, to increase some of that, in the blue channel, the red, and in the red channel, increase the blue. A little difference going on here. Red channel, increase blue. Blue channel, increase red. And so, again, you can go back and forth and select the hue. It's on the red channel. I can bring that down more if I want to really super saturate it. And again, if I go to the master control, I can choose how saturated my image is. And so super saturated or kind of saturated. And again, I can go back and forth a lot. The next thing I'm going to do is add a curves layer. So I'm going to go into curves. And in curves, I can move these sliders around, and I can also add points along the way to, kind of work with I'd say the contrast of my image and the intensity of those colors as well in those different areas. So, to get a little more drama going on there, or if I want it to be a little lighter. So the curves channel is very similar to the levels. So at this point, if you're happy with your image, you're good to go. But again, you can always tap back into these. And so if I double click in them, I can go back in and maybe I want a little more warmth in there. And so maybe a little bit more blue. And then again, go back to the red channel. So it's this back and forth that's really cool, that you can kind of decide where your point is, that you are getting that as a photographer, that feeling that you want to get from your image. once I'm done, again, file save as a PSD. The great thing about saving as a PSD is I'll be able to see all your layers and your original image, so you don't even have to upload your original image. But again, if you want to see it and you want to share it, which I would think would be a great thing to do, you want to save it as a JPEG. So that will provide you a file that can open up in just about any program. So there you go. Your composition in Hypercolor.